I ain't got my multiple computers.
We live out here.
That's right. We are live.
We're here.
We are alive another day. You know what I'm saying? That's always good. And all is well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh man, it's coming down out there.
Oh, it's raining.
Or no, I just heard some wind. I guess maybe I need to rake my leaves.
The sun is shining over here.
I'm about to say it's been raining on and off in North Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And Alpharetta, it's been spot raining. But, yeah.
Well, welcome everybody. We're gonna wait for everybody a little bit to come on through, but you know what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
Okay. I got my red on. I got my blue on. I got them both.
Unified out here. We don't play that division stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I just got on blue.
Okay. Okay.
I got on charcoal, so.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Chima
is Switzerland right now.
You know what? I got on blue and red too.
You do?
Okay.
See?
That's
why he's your chief of staff.
Not intentional.
That was not intentional. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like having lobsters on my shirt today.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
See, crab is getting out of season and starting to be low. So I need to get some. I need to get some before Kroger wises up and charges $1 billion.
Hey man, now go to Costco. I
had crab
man.
today.
Oh,
dang.
Shout out to John. Shout out to the Robinsons anniversary. They had John had a crab grilled cheese sandwich with pimento cheese and
oh my god,
some other aioli and some other blessing inside. And he blessed me with it, and I was like, "Well, bless you." Poppin'.
I want crabs now.
Crab.
I love seafood.
Crab.
Oh my gosh, it's like my favorite food.
Yeah, we got to stop putting S on things that don't require S's.
Just put an S on that. It's a whole different thing, Mella.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop that. We are beyond that now.
That's how we weren't talking about medicine today. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, come through, everyone. We are back for this month.
Yeah, this month we welcome you. You know what I mean? Another day, another dollar,
another one.
You know what I'm saying? Hey man, but if you live in North Georgia on I-75, you know what I'm saying, be careful. Because
what's going on out there?
Yeah.
They're having a Trump parade.
Oh.
That was coming. We saw.
Yeah, my brother, he on the road right now, going to Tennessee, and he was just like, "Yo, man, you wouldn't believe it." He said it's on the interstate, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why?" So be careful, mind your P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying? Don't walk into anything that you should. You don't have to be places where people are. That's my advice.
You can be home.
People. You can be home. It's okay. You don't have to go to where people are, and you don't have to involve yourself. That's just
you shouldn't either. COVID is still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a
thing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Shameless plug for the CDC and the world.
Yeah,
people out here partying like it's not though.
Yeah, it's just like it's still a thing going around out here. I know y'all. It feels like fake news or whatever, but it's very real. It's very real.
Oh gosh.
I have plenty. I have 2 doctors in my family, and they have assured me that hey, this is real. Yeah. I know you want to think it's a game, but it's not.
Yeah, you'll be shocked. I'll be like, oh. Are y'all being careful with the COVID stuff? And they'll be like, oh, is that still a thing?
Oh.
And I'm like, oh.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Just walk away slowly.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Me too, bro.
All right, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody. Well, we finna go ahead and roll this thing out and get started like we always do.
Let's do
What
it.
up, everybody? It's your boy, Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And it's your girl, Mela G.
With special guests.
Chima Odinkemere.
And this is
Convrs8.
Let's talk about it.
Good job, everybody. We came in hot. You know what I'm saying? It's smooth, like R&B sounds on the radio.
Right. We're getting better and better.
You know what I'm saying? How you live, Mela G?
Man, I'm living well. Honestly, I can't complain. As I was kind of talking to Darius and Stevie earlier, this week I've really been focusing on being good enough in my spiritual walk with God. I feel like with all the things that are happening right now in this world, pre-election, the pandemic, so many different transitions, even for myself, moving here, starting a new job, trying to get reconnected to a church. I feel like my attention has been pulled in so many different directions. And so it was kind of hard for me to kind of figure out what direction to go in my relationship with God. So I chose to purchase this book called The Bible Study. And basically it goes book by book and it kind of breaks it down, asks you questions. And so in the beginning, was the word, and the word was with God. No, but I was in the book of Genesis and basically just reading through the things God created each day. And every time that he created something at the end, he would say, and it was good, all the way up until the seventh day where he rested. And there was one particular question that was asked is like, why do you feel like God rested on the seventh day? And I'm like, you know what? I never really thought about that. Maybe he was tired. Maybe he was, whatever. But as I kept pondering that question, I came to the conclusion it may not be what it actually is. I will have to ask him when I get there. But I realized like everything that he created the days before was good. He had no hesitation. He was satisfied with what he created. And that gave him this room to rest, like with ease. And I think that's what I want to be able to implement in my life too, especially as a creative. Like I'm always creating things, and then things that you do create, you get opinions about, you're very sensitive to. So just not really allowing other people's opinion to determine my creativity, but just knowing the things that I create are good. And then resting and not overwhelming myself and feeling like I have to do more than what is actually required. So I was really like encouraged by that and just knowing like what I'm doing is good, and like I don't need to like lose sleep over it, if I don't feel like it's, where I feel like it should be. Like it is where it is. And I'll rest and I'll continue to work on it when I'm rested up and I'm full. Again, I don't want to be able to continue to operate from an empty place. So that's how I've been living, just trying to be satisfied with what God has blessed me with, my gifts and talents, and how he's allowed me to glorify him with those gifts and talents as well.
Dope. So we'll sling it to you. How you living, Dr. Chima?
I'm staying alive, first and foremost, just like the BG, one time for the oldies. I'm doing well, man. I'm in a season of growth in my life, a season that is demanding a lot of attention and hard work. But it's good, man, because I feel like these seasons really prime you for that next step, whatever that is, depending who you are. For mine, I'm thinking obviously for me the next step is for my residency to start my training in July of 2021. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting, man. Just a lot of moving parts because it's deeper than like my career. It's like my family. Where my wife and I going to go for the next 4 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of time. I mean, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, but a passing glance. But 4 to 5 years is still like, that's a little bit of time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, where are we going to go? it might not be Atlanta, probably won't be. We'll see, depending on the job opportunities. It could be anywhere. So that's sobering to really think about that, because I'm literally in a place where I have zero control over my next 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a lot of surrendering for me, a lot daily, with just giving it to God, and of course trusting, hoping, believing, and knowing that wherever He takes me is where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But not just like, wherever He takes me, it's also part of the master plan. Like, something is supposed to happen wherever I go, right? It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be better than I could ever imagine. And ultimately, it's gonna be for His will. So just kind of surrendering that, using that, remembering that, diving in the scripture, and using all that to fight my own self, because I could be my biggest adversary, because the desire to try to control my fate, my future. So it's a lot of back and forth, super humbling, a lot of praying, a lot of believing, a lot of talking to people and talking at people. So, but yeah, man, that's where I am. That's where I am right now.
That's awesome.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. How you live, Stephen Neal?
Well, I would say, especially this week, just studying out and really trying to wrestle out what I want to do as far as, okay, I have ministry stuff going on and I have my dreams. Like, this is part of my dream. Graphics is part of my dream. Cover art I've done for this podcast, other podcasts. It's been incredible, but I tend to kind of like separate those two things for whatever reason. But instead, like, wouldn't it be cool if, you can, God's a part of it, whether I make it a part of it or not, but whether I make God a part of it or not, but what if I embraced making God like synergize with my dreams, with ministry tasks and everything like that, because that's what they can be sometimes. But so I've been hoping and dreaming for a lot of things, like with this platform, certainly just really using it to help others trying to get their goals and dreams out there, and also just sharing our own lives. We say that often, but especially times like this, as our lives are shifting, to be able to share that with other people, I think that's cool. And just working with the teen ministry with our church, they have a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. And these guys aren't like headed to college; they're like just getting to high school, and they already have a lot to say. So kind of bringing them onto a podcast platform and really kind of giving them a voice for their concerns, and that being like a bridge as well. Us having a platform, and myself having a talent to bridge what I'm doing mystery wise over into this platform here. I think that's something I am dreaming and praying about and planning as well. So that's just kind of been the theme of my week, is just like spiritual synergy. Just, God's in it, but to embrace that God is in it, and really bring my friends with me on this journey with God, bring like people I'm reaching out to on this dream with God, like, and not really kind of over compartmentalize, you know what I mean? Like, because that can be my tendency, like just to kind of assume, people aren't really interested in this aspect of your life, when
right,
that's really not true at all, like
it's not.
So yeah, man, that's just been my whole mode.
It's awesome.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Darius J, how you living?
Ha ha ha. You know what I'm saying? I'm living good, man. We were not able to do our normal the marriage mafia, a group that started with a bunch of single people that eventually got married. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
We normally do a trip, you know what I'm saying, with each other, you know what I'm saying. Normally do a weekend trip or a cruise or something like that. But they got derailed, you know what I'm saying, due to the current pandemic. We don't want to be out and about and spreading things around with the masses and the people that don't care to wear masks. Um,
Right.
but we did get together this weekend,
Yeah.
hung out with each other and the kiddos, couple kids running around now. The group is growing. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Amen. You know what I'm saying? So
Amen.
most definitely.
Chris leading the charge. He had to put the
Right.
most in. Instead of twins and two, three daughters all together. You know what I'm saying? He don't up the ante. So
Right.
um, well, it was good. You know what I'm saying? Because we was talking. You know what I'm saying? Friday night, and we was just talking about how we all came together, and it was kind of weird. Like it was a cool origin story breakdown of like how awful we were. You know what I'm saying? Before we came to Christ, but it's like I came through a friend that I knew back in the day. We actually from the same hometown, but I haven't seen him in like years. You know what I'm saying? And I seen him on the internet, and I'm like, man, Joker talking about Jesus. Gotta be a cult. You know what I'm saying? Not him. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew him. You know what I'm saying? It was odd to see him talking about stuff like that, and I was just like. First, I just reached out. I was like, "Hey, you all right?" You know what I'm saying? Because I can call your mama and them, and your grandma and
I
them, and
can't.
come get you if you need help. You know what I'm saying? Because you in trouble if you talking like that. Never heard you talk about it. So but it ended up being legit. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about how God changed his life and stuff like that. And I was just like, "Oh, okay, where you go to church at?" You know what I'm saying? I looked at I actually didn't go the first 3 times I said I was coming. I was just like, yeah, stuff came up, you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
didn't really stuff,
right.
but came up. But we all kind of like just came from different places, you know what I'm saying? I was all over. He was all over, and it's just kind of like God kind of like just drew them lines, you know what I'm saying? I never thought that he would be the conduit to me meeting, you know what I'm saying, my Lord
Yeah.
and Savior in a way that I never met him before.
Yeah.
And it happened, you know what I'm saying? And just to see how we all just kind of like bounce around, it's just like the friends that he had ended up becoming my friends, ended up becoming very close friends. Like
Yeah.
we like family now, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and just to see how all that come together, and you're just like, man, if everything worked out like I had plans, I'd be in Japan right now. You know what I'm saying? Konnichiwa. You know what I mean?
That's real.
But it didn't work out like that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And just even though like everything that I had planned it didn't come out the way I wanted to come out, I still succeeded in life. You know what I'm saying? Against all odds. And even like I was talking to one of my cousins, he was just like, man, you know where we come from? It was like it ain't no way we're supposed to be successful. We don't supposed to have the lives we have. Like I tell people a lot. I said when my first week of marriage, I woke up and I was just like, somebody, I'm living in somebody else's life. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at that time I was kind of like struggling with the thing. Melatonin. I didn't feel like I deserved none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just like, all the things I'm put into life has not been good. You know what I'm saying? And for me to even just start to go down the right path and be a person of integrity and stuff like that, it landed me in the spot where I was just like, honestly, I ain't put in no work for this for real. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mhm.
just like God just had mercy, grace and mercy on me. And it was like, hey, here you go. You get to have a wife. And there's a healthy relationship. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Got healthy friendships that actually we so in and out of each other. Like we don't even take advantage of one another. We really truly, invest in one another, and we try our best. We may not talk every day, but when we
Mhm.
talk, we really caring about each other's welfare, and we want to
Yeah.
see each other succeed.
Right.
And none of that would have happened, you know what I'm saying, without God, or without them seeking God and God seeking them, and then it come down trickle effect
Mhm.
or nothing like that. Like even going back to school to just go after the things that I deemed dead. I was just like, that part of my life that I messed up so bad. I can't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I think my hands are supposed to be off, but no, it wasn't that. It was like I was like, hey man, you did it the wrong way. Just admit that part. Stand on that. You know what I'm saying? You tried to cut, do your little cubby holes and go through the holes that you're supposed to in life in order to achieve that career, and it didn't work out for you because if you didn't do it the right way, you wasn't going to achieve it anyway. So now I'm doing it the right way. Now I make plans and stuff like that. I don't just rely on my talent. It takes a certain amount of hard work with talent in order to truly be successful. Because a lot of people just think talent can get you through high school. It can even get you through college. But when it's time for hard work, you know what I'm saying? Like when the hard work part is what's going to truly make you successful with your talent. Because if you don't never put that hard work with talent, that joint fade like a flame in the wind. You know what I'm saying? So all that said, you know what I'm saying, is just, it made me grateful when I come around my friends and we talk the way we talk and we reminisce and see how far each other has come. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. It was always good to hang around my friends and hear their wins, you know what I'm saying, and how they persevered through their failures. Because the failures is what truly make the victory sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like if you just spend all the time winning, you kind of get bored with it. You just like another win, another trophy. You know what I'm saying? But every athlete or person that competes, it's that win after the time they ran through that adversity is what make that win more sweeter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So ready to keep on fighting, man, to keep on striving and just helping my family and my nephews. I really have a heart for my nephews and my nieces and stuff like that. And I want them to succeed. And I want them to, have somebody to look upon, to call upon that can help them in those arenas to guide them through the life, because life ain't just mine. It's my family's, you know what I'm saying, and my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I'm living. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Grateful.
I like that.
Awesome. So, all right, guys, moment is here. Nia DaCosta, good luck directing Captain Marvel 2. Self-plug, if y'all want to know more about that, I have another podcast, Film Crew Experience, FCX, the Film Crew Experience. We'll talk about that. But we are going to talk about the election today. Okay. This is too big a moment to sidebar with any topic.
Yeah.
Man, guys, what a week. So much to unpack.
Yes.
It is a lot to unpack. There's a lot of memes to unpack too. The memes
that
memes were great this week. I just want to say kudos to the internet people. I don't know I don't know where memes originate from. I think it's just some magical places where like it's a dude working constantly on memes. Like, cause some of them be so good, and I'm like, dude, did you spend hours on this?
Right.
Listen, they were probably just creating it for either side, and it's just like whenever the time is right, it's like, okay, well, clearly I can't use this because it doesn't make sense, so I'm gonna just unpack these ones that I have here on this folder.
It's like the championship where they make two sets of T-shirts.
Yeah.
And wait for the winner, and then they just burn the other one or send them to like Bolivia or something.
Right.
Yeah. That's kind of weird though.
That's so interesting.
Of the wrong team, like they're wearing the shirt to say champions of the losers.
Yeah, man. There's like some kid in like Burma who thinks Cavaliers have won 3 out of 4 championships.
Oh God.
I never thought about that actually ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I was like, that's weird. Like somebody out there thinks the Cavaliers are champions.
Yes. That is a major waste.
They're not being resourceful.
Wow.
Somebody out there that think LeBron actually won 11 championships.
LeBron James.
I can't, man. Anyway.
Well, yeah, we'll hop in an election, you know what I'm saying? I guess I better be like Chima and just be real about it. Well, no, I'm gonna be as real as I can be. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love America. And I want to be president in 2024. So you know what I'm saying? I don't want to tear my draws with nobody right now. Y'all, that's a country saying to me I don't messed up. So I want y'all, you know, start my internet campaign. You won't be press secretary until I become president.
That ain't 2024, baby. That ain't gonna get no better.
Campaign is not real.
Tim was like, what? Did I just?
Yeah, I thought we got hacked. I was like, oh no.
Wait a minute. I did not know that you said
Tim was finna fade away that.
Yeah.
He was like, what's happening?
All right, I'm gonna head out.
Right. All right. Nice having me, guys.
Yeah. That was beautiful. I like it.
Funny.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
real.
it's gonna be real though.
Right.
I'm bringing it to life.
Right, yeah, current.
Right, come on.
Yeah.
I'm seasoned enough. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I ain't even gonna keep my dreads. I'm gonna be the first president with dreads.
I like that.
It's gonna be great.
You know what I'm saying?
Representation matters.
I'm gonna Tim to my inauguration. You know what I'm saying?
You go with what?
Tim's to his inauguration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim with Carhartt overalls. You know what I'm saying?
I see you.
And a train engineer hat. And they're gonna be
I
like,
like
yo,
that.
what's going on here? And I'm be like, what's up, everybody? Y'all know you the president? Yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? Mella, she in the back. She coming. She my vice president, chief of staff.
Also the photography, and also the.
Everybody that's in the cabinet, you are fired. I will find your replacements tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There ain't no carryover.
Yeah, there ain't no carryover.
Ain't no carryover. Somebody come up and try to shake my hand. Like, hey man, get your hands out the way. We ain't shaking hands. Coronavirus still out here. You know what I'm saying?
No new friends, my guy.
No new friends. I don't even know you. You look like you sell children or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust you. You look like you Epstein friend. Yeah, that went
right.
You know, congratulations, Joe Biden and Sister Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah,
Kamala.
I said it right. I know. Every time I say something on the internet, and they be like, "You said everything wrong," and I was just like, "Hey, man, they need to write it in the pronunciation text like they're doing dictionaries for everybody that don't. We just assume A's and M's make a certain sound. So you know." Anyway, but congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Pence and Trump. Hey man, congratulations on y'all. Y'all had a good run. Good 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Y'all tried. Pence, we ain't hearing that from you to that fly.
Right, into that fly.
That fly landed on it, changed the game.
So
for
crazy.
You might should have ran.
I saw this TikTok and they were basically like reenacting or predicting what their life will look like now they're not in the White House anymore. And for Pitts, they said that he lives in fear of flies for the rest of his life.
I tell y'all one thing. That fly better get a cabinet position.
Listen,
Right, let me tell you something.
he held on. Listen,
that fly made that debate.
I never
you know what I'm saying? I was just
before.
like, yo, I thought Pence had died. You know what I'm saying? Because flies don't lay on nothing that's alive.
Especially when you're moving around.
Like, I'm from the South.
When you're
flies
moving around,
don't really lay on people that's alive. I thought he had left here. You know what I'm saying?
And there was something in his hair mousse or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Or the fly might have been stuck
to his hair mousse.
That thing didn't budge though. I saw a video.
Yeah,
people they were like, we engineered the most amazing weapon for the candidacy, and they said they basically broke it down how they made a robotic fly, and obviously it was a joke. But by the end of the video, you were like, wait,
you know what?
Is that possible? And they even showed prototypes. They were like, these were our first few versions, and I'm like,
what?
Version of a fly?
Are flies not flies anymore?
Yeah.
A fly come land on your table.
Yeah.
It got me. Let's leave.
Right. I was shook.
they're really being a fly on the wall these days now. It's just
Oh man,
you never know what kind of information they're capturing.
They woke.
Stay woke, stay woke. You know what I'm saying? The fly is the one who got you. The fly is gonna check your neck like Inspector Deck.
Okay.
Okay, you better drop something on
Dang,
it.
Clint. You know
Come
what
on
I'm
now,
saying?
Jay.
You know what I mean? Out here, you know what I mean? I rhyme when it's time.
Okay.
Oh my
I was wondering because it's about time. You know what I'm saying?
I can't, yo.
Man, but the Fly and James Clyburn, they need cabinet spots if they're asking for them, because that dude saved Biden's campaign. Like, he was in 5th place coming into South Carolina, and then Clyburn was just like, hey, black folks, vote for this man. And then here we
All
are.
of a sudden, they just voted for him, you know.
Right.
But did Georgia technically turn blue?
I don't know. I feel like it's still pinned.
I feel like technically.
I think they would turn North Carolina blue. I don't think they were like solid.
Indigo.
Yeah, they were like I think they were more like a Carolina blue, you know what I'm saying? Like, or a blue with a pinkish hue, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right, yeah, there you go.
Because I said,
Periwinkle.
because I didn't know the vote for presidency was the thing that turned your state. Now I was just like, what? You know what I'm saying? You still got like 6 Republican people in office in our state. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be 2 less, after them runoffs in January. It might be 2 less people, 2 less senators.
True.
If people come back.
Warnock will win. I can predict.
I don't know about Ossoff, but Warnock.
I don't know about Ossoff. His name weird. He see his name is in it.
Have you seen my name?
No, your name is strong.
I
Odin,
thought so too.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
thought so too.
That means somebody, the dude that made Mel Janor, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it means I have done no wrong.
see? Also, sound like he lied. You know what I'm saying?
What? How did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah.
What's a good word for O? I can't think of one right now. I ain't got an acronym for him yet, but I cook one up for the end of the show. But it's just like Ossoff is like he the opposition so often. Fake fibber. Bam. Ossoff, let's get it. But nah, man. I'm just saying, man, like,
right, with disappear.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I tried my best. I did not land. I admit my defeat. I tried.
Unlike certain people this week.
That's a shot in the
dark. Why hasn't he conceded yet?
There are people around him. Like I saw this morning, there are people in his camp are telling people we're gonna tell him to give up. Melania is like,
listen, I've seen
we need to give up.
That's the memes that we did not collect, because I've seen so many memes in regards to her. Like, I feel like she just relieved. Like, he's like, listen, we ran our course. We did our 4 years. Let's go live life somewhere else.
Because she didn't sign up for this.
She did.
To, be speaking to, like, schools and making public appearances and kissing babies. She didn't sign up for this.
She thought she was just finna come in the White House and have a fashion budget and all that stuff like that. She didn't expect to go to school and read the kids. She could barely speak English. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. It's common knowledge.
She wasn't even living in the White House, man.
That's what I'm saying. She didn't want to live in the White House because she knew the ghost of all the wives was gonna come to her and be like, "Hey, man, you know you don't supposed to be here."
Darius, where do you get this stuff from?
My mind.
I love that. That's a beautiful thing.
You know what I'm saying? The ghost that show up was like, "Hey, the last Bush lady was like, hey, you need to get out of here before we get the real ghosts in here. You don't want none of them ghosts that come from the 60s back." You know what I'm saying? Them ghosts come up in here. Hey, man, you're going to be bald headed by the time you leave. Ghosts going to share your ball.
That's the worst case scenario.
I can't lie. this whole process definitely gave me scandal vibes. Like, I just felt like Olivia Pope was out here doing something to help with the elections. Because
the TV show.
Like in the show, she like helped rig the election for that guy, whoever his name was. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, the guy that with her boo thing?
Yeah.
Fitz?
Yeah, Fitz, yeah. He didn't win the presidency like uprightly. Like they rigged like the polls in a certain city.
See, careful, Mella. Because Brian Kemp and Brad Reffensberger are probably listening and building their case as we speak to burn like 50,000 votes.
Oh man, Kemp.
Yeah.
Not to get confused with Sean Kemp.
It's fiction though.
Yeah, I feel you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandfather always told me, he was like, a lot of things that people, he said, the best way to get the truth out without nobody noticing is to put it in their face.
Right.
So a lot of things that we think are like not honest and true, it don't happen, because it's like, it's some stuff that my grandfather told me about things that don't happen in here. He's like, no, that actually came across the way they put it on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was out here, you know what I'm saying, serving Uncle Sam, this is how this happened. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing pretty about none of that stuff. All the he was like, no, people's out there crying like, help me, my legs is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know, yeah, that's the best way to tell the truth, is just dancing down to people. That's why I tell people sometimes, like, hey man, I believe aliens are real, man. They make too many movies about that.
Yeah, man.
I'm waiting on Flim Flam to show up. I'm telling you, when I become president, I'm going to Area 51, open the gate,
51.
and I was just like, come out here and just talk to people, man. You know what I'm saying? Show them you're real. We wouldn't have had the microwave without you. Couldn't eat Hot Pockets when I was 12 without you.
Please stop.
You ever wonder how technology just shows up? Just like how we had no scientific way to do this before, and now it's just a reality.
Hey man,
you got Chima crying.
I'm telling you, like, hey man, we don't reverse engineered a lot of technology that Flim Flam and Bimbop left here.
Bimbop, that's actually a Korean food.
It is.
It's delicious. It's so like it's rice with some meat, vegetables, and a little fried egg on the top. Just use sriracha and a little of that.
I want that now.
That black garlic soy on top.
Out
of here, cuz. Telling you, fade the
man. Like, so, you know, like Mel says, a lot of memes out there. Like Derry said, there's truth to every joke. So why not live in our truth and relive some of these memes here?
Yes.
Like here in Georgia, you know, Trump was ahead, but DK was on the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, my goodness.
That one
Trump's
is
second term didn't have a chance
at all.
According to this memeage.
Exactly.
My goodness.
Yo, I'm telling you. Hey man, but we did, you know, they did it, you know what I'm saying? And just like, you know, people was excited, and you know, I feel like people started taking a little too much credit in Georgia for they were like, if it went for us, y'all wouldn't have turned blue. Like,
you mean
all the transplant people?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, stop beating your chest like you did something.
We still fool,
and
guys.
We still fool.
We still fool.
I know what I'm saying?
Like, you talking about, if it went for us, y'all wouldn't have turned blue. Like, you know, we were blue before y'all got here at once upon a time. We all of a sudden just switched back red. You know what I'm saying? Back in the Zell Miller days and Bill Clinton.
Right. We had a lot of Republican governors growing up. I mean, Democrats.
That's what I'm saying. I was just like, he the one that got the hope that everybody, hope scholarships brought into play. I was like, we were blue at once upon a time. Y'all came down here and made them people rise up and go work and turn red, man.
Rise up.
If anything, from all these states that people are coming from, we could have been even more blue if you'd have stayed your butt in Alabama and Mississippi, where you came from.
Louisiana, because just like during Hurricane Katrina, we had a population growth by 15%.
Dang.
And that wasn't nobody coming from the north. Them just people running away from the rain.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and took gas up. How did they take gas up during that time?
Oh, that was just that whole gas shortage thing, and the oil spill, the BP thing. You know, they use that as an excuse just to charge $5 a gallon.
But that's what I'll be telling people. I'm like,
$5.
oil
It
refinery.
was close to $5 back in 20.
Yeah, it was, bro.
2008.
I'm telling you, people was stealing gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stole gas twice.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen somebody, I like, man, they driving Mercedes. They don't need that gas.
Somebody's listening right now. Oh, we got the evidence.
Back my 92 Escort to that Mercedes. Like, hey, bow. Got a full tank off on. Back riding again. You know what I'm saying? Because the QT was full, man. I was like, I ain't finna wait all day for the gas. I'm finna pick one of the rich people up.
Honestly, I feel like that's how, you know, when they say, always joke about when rappers make albums and snitch on themselves in that album, like, or their songs, my boy, you did it. And I never thought I'd live to see the day, but I like that. I like that energy. Done is done.
Hey, I'm past the, you know, the statute of limitations, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good. That was in 2005. You know what I'm saying?
I can tell you about the yams in my auntie's house because they're already gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I don't roll that gas out 250,000 times.
Oh gosh!
I give you a gift card back. You send me your information, Mercedes drive. You had a white BMW with some nice rims on it. Me and my homeboy thought about taking your whole car, but we just took your gas.
Man, so
that transition, man.
Yeah, so
no, I was about to just say, you know, so Trump at one point thought he won, which is like trying to declare yourself a winner in the lottery after the first number or something.
Man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
not the guy. Oh no.
Oh man, he's just mad at the count right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Just
I feel like,
what's the logic in that? What's the logic of like stop the count to legitimize the count? I don't know,
bro. But let me tell you something. What was that was Donald Trump energy the whole 4 years though. It's
true.
That's what he thought.
True.
That's how he acted. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that surprised me. I'm just like, oh yeah, he's just doing what he usually do. You know what I'm saying? Saying what he feel like saying, doing what he feel like doing. That's Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? And then Joe Biden, I'm still waiting to see what Joe Biden stand on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everybody was just like,
he's rolled out his 100-day. He's rolled out his 100-day plan.
Well, give me a few pointers off this 100-day.
Corona, that's number one.
All right.
How?
Let's see. I have to put it in front of me because it's Corona, student loans. Although that's probably like at the tail end of it.
I'm about to say that ain't finna come in right now. I'm telling you that right now.
But he did confirm
won't that
student
much.
loans, huh?
Yeah. The thing is, like, somebody asked him, like, it was like October 29th. They asked him about the student loans, and he doubled down on it, saying that there'd be a plan, basically, where even if you are even if you're making a lot of money, like over $150,000, just say, don't quote me on that directly, but if it's like, if you make over $150,000, you're still going to get $10,000 knocked off of your student loans. If you make less than that, then you have a chance for it all to be forgiven. So there's going to be at least knockdowns to people's amounts.
Man. I mean, every teacher in the country might get their joints.
Let's think about it. That's how debt works, right? You have people have outstanding debt. Let's just say like, you owe Sprint $1,500 because you left them without paying your phone off to go to Verizon, okay? And it's like a couple of years and you still owe that $1,500. What sense does it make after like years and years and years to just be like, all right, well, this debt stands? No, eventually you're going to negotiate that debt, right?
Right.
So why can't that happen for student loans? I feel like that's just what's happening. Just knock at least 10K off. You know what I'm saying? Like you would recoup so much more money than just people, because people are ducking and dodging these people, man. They are
Yeah.
Dodgers. They're not.
Hey man, I was a Dodger,
Okay.
but they came after and tracked me down. Like they
Listen.
came and got everything they wanted from me. They were just like, all right, if you don't do this right now, I'm taking your feet. You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to run no more.
You won't be able to win Tim at your election.
I mean, there are
you won't die in this.
I mean, there are tens of millions of people there who are like who went to college like in the 70s and 60s and stuff that still owe money, man. So that should be an indicator you're not getting that money. You're not getting that money unless you do something on your end,
right,
to negotiate it down. Okay, and I feel like that's just what this
man.
is.
Let me tell you,
you know,
I want to see at least 2 or 3 things. I know he ain't gonna get everything off his 100-day, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the student loans, see, you know what gonna make me mad about student loans?
What's up?
Me and my wife don't pay ours off. We don't pay ours off. So I'm gonna be mad that I could have just hung them joints out and waited for Biden. No, I don't want no good for me. I want that free money. So they should send me a check. They should send me and my wife a check. You know what I'm saying?
Good for you.
I'm upset. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Because
don't good for me. I want some of that money.
Oh. So
hey man, let me tell you something, man. I
don't
want my
know,
money.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
you're in a good
Send me a
position,
reparation check or something.
I can't.
Oh, but you're in a good position though, big dog. Like, because you paid off your loans, now you just got a steady cash flow, a positive cash flow. Whereas other people at least have
you
to
ain't
make
paying all that money to nothing. Right.
You're good.
You know what I'm saying?
Darius' face.
I'm proud of you, Darius.
I want money.
That's what he's like.
No, don't be proud of me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm proud of
got
you.
some money.
I'm gonna take it.
Right.
I want my money.
You are gold.
You do have it.
Right.
Well, one of those things I want to
I want
do
some
with
government money.
I gotta pay people every month. I want my $200 a month back.
Right.
Hey.
Hey, but one of the things I want to do with that money, if it comes, is travel, and this will be a nice little guide. Now that the election has transpired.
Well, Arizona and Nevada were blue, right?
Yeah, Nevada. Talking about
they,
Nevada.
like I said,
Jesus.
Nevada
so
made
long
me
to
upset.
count.
Now Nevada, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
Nevada was that person, that old person,
Fear bomb.
and they kept having to start over. They kept starting the conversation.
Exactly.
Bruh.
It's
That's
like,
so
It's
true,
almost,
because I'm telling
it's
you,
almost like
that particular fight with Goku when he was turning Super Saiyan, that joint literally took like 5 episodes.
it
The next
It
episode
literally
starts with
was
him
like
still.
months.
Next time,
And that's back when episodes came on
Right.
every week. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had 2 months of a man just screaming at the top of his lungs and lightning flashing and his hair going, that's what Nevada was. You know what I'm saying? Or it was that old person kind of like 1, 2, 3. Hey man, you want some chicken? Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Where was I? Oh, California. 1, 2.
At the barbershop when they start conversations mid-cut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Nevada was just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it don't matter, man. America ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
Hey, Nevada, y'all done? I think we ain't done yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that one juror in jury duty who keeps disagreeing with everybody and they have to stay and they continue to deliberate until everyone changes their minds?
Right.
Exactly. Or it's like that. I think I saw Chris say he's like that. Nevada's equivalent, like the who all over there.
They had to wait for everybody else to flip.
Yeah,
okay, you blue.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be blue too. Okay.
I'll be blue too, y'all. Hey, what's up, everybody? You know what I'm saying? I'm unfashionably late.
Jeez.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, because I certainly Oh no, I was like, I certainly went to sleep Tuesday thinking, Trump had basically won, and then this happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Wisconsin and Michigan just flipped, you know what I mean, and gave it new life. Man, this guy's the comeback king.
Yo.
Man,
Right.
you say whatever you want about him, but fifth place in the primaries and came back, and now this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now people that retirement, just like the sisters say they got hope. You know what I'm saying? They saw somebody just like them. Now people in nursing homes saw somebody just like them. They probably be president.
Exactly.
Oh no!
They probably look over at their grandson and ain't visiting but 2 times in the last 6 months. Like, I'm gonna be president. I'm gonna make my proud. Somebody get my Geritol, and we about to get out here on the campaign. get my SAS shoes.
I was about to say, give him that cortisone shot. We good to go.
I cannot.
Hey, because I remember I was talking to my homeboy. He said, "Hey man, he running a good race." I said, "No, Joe Biden is walking a good race. He's not running."
Until he ran.
But you see, he stopped because he almost lost his balance because he was finna fall.
Oh,
I seen that. I said, "Oh, he had to slow down and get his bearings again." Then he started back jogging again. I said, "That joke almost went to sleep right there."
Oh my gosh.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
Man, but I'm looking forward to January 20th, man. Yeah. Just to see what'll transpire. Because like you said, his camp is trying to convince the Donald to just give this thing up. I hope it doesn't come to this. I really don't. I really hope it doesn't come to this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hey, man, get out of there.
Concede, man.
Right.
Do it.
Just go ahead.
I will say though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit weary though, just because how polarized both parties were, and even though the election is over, as Darius opened up with, saying like, what's happening, Deji? You know what I'm saying? Wakanda for, you know what I'm saying? Nigerians understand. But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? We get it. Shalom. Oh, these are all the comments. But like I was saying, I'm a bit weary though, over the next couple of months, because it's just, you can see the unrest that's been going on. And there's been looting, but there's also been like pretty prominent violence too. And it's very concerning, so at this point I'm just like, it's done, it's over with, a party won, because to me, politics, they change, stances come and go. Yeah. But you know what I mean? There's no reason for violence ever. And no matter who wins, who cares? Your views may change, your values may change. To say that they'll never change will be naive. So anyway, I just think there's no point in being mad and getting violent and everything, which I'm very concerned about over the next couple of months. So I'm just kind of staying vigilant. I just want to stay home, lay low, mind my business, drink my water, sip my tea, and just wait for this next chapter,
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to tell. Hey man, don't be out here trying to be about that life with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, brother told me like, hey man, they having a Trump parade in North Georgia right now. Like he won. And I was just like, it's some people out there that really think this man won. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they are on the interstate I-75 northbound. Oh, well, they coming south. He was going northbound. They don't stop the highway and everything. And, they out here, getting ready to, do their thing. That's why it ain't a lot of black people that live in North Georgia like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think black people go past Cartersville. You know what I'm saying? Like, on the 75 side of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean? I think Carterville is where we stop at. You know what I'm saying? We let that, because I remember I was talking to one guy and I was delivering to a place up there and I was talking to him and he was just like, I was like, man, y'all got some pretty nice houses over here. I think I was in Chatsworth. And he was like, nah, you don't want to stay over here. You know what I'm saying? You want to stay over there. Your people is over there. And I said, oh, I understand what you're saying.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Okay. I got it. You know what? I'm not even gonna force the issue with this one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, got it. You know what I'm saying? I stay on the other. You said southbound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and I feel like people need to, you know what I'm saying, really start trying to take care. I feel like, and this is a conversation I have with my brother, man. Like, I feel like we're supposed to be taking care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're such advocates of having the government handle everything for us. I think we need to be proactive in our own lives and don't sit around waiting for handouts. I mean, like my grandfather, my grandmother, all of them never waited on things. They always made things happen. But like I was at my grandmother's house, you know what I'm saying, a few weeks ago, and she was just like, man, the president ain't never came and knocked on my door. So yeah, I can care who in there. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I can't care. She was like, only thing I'm worried about is sorry mayor over here. You know what I'm saying? And so I try my best to just, you know, do what's necessary, you know what I'm saying, to make sure my family is okay. Me and my wife, you know what I'm saying, we had kids, you know, them teaching them how to be proactive, but, you know, also caring about the people in the community and trying to uplift people, you know what I'm saying, and trying to make sure the community is going forward, you know what I'm saying, having a forward mindset and, you know, and learn from the past, but don't dwell in the past, you know what I'm saying, because
yes, sir.
oftentimes that's what we do. We live in the past and we don't understand that you riding on trauma that's already past you. It was your obligation to grow past it, learn what you need to learn from it, and move on. And I feel like that's what a lot of people in America fail to do. They just want to, you know, just like I don't even understand people doing the Confederate War reenactments. I just like, y'all lost. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all reliving the loss? It was like, it's pride in losing, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But not for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You lost. And it's okay. Move past that. Come with the rest of us into the future. You know what I'm saying? And try to, you know, have everybody come up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be on one side. And like I tell people, man, love is love. I know you don't. A lot of people don't want to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, I want to look like this, but we gotta love one another. We gotta be positive. We gotta look past all that stuff that don't do nothing to really hold us back and keep us at odds. Because just like I'm tired of polarization. I'm just like, yo, y'all understand the government is the government, and no matter if it's Democrat or Republican, we all still live in the same country. And like some people, like they act like they above everything. I like, dude, can you fly or do you not pay taxes? Because I was like, if you can't fly and you pay taxes still, I don't even want to hear what you got to talk about because you live in the same life I'm living. You are not above what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do expect, I do expect more from people, not the government.
Right. And into that piece about the Confederacy and everything, and you know, people reenacting stuff. Like, think about it, guys. Like, what other civilized countries can you think about where a faction forms and loses power that gets to just emblazon the symbols and manifesto of that faction, even though it was overpowered? Like, think about swastikas, man, and the, you know, Nazi party in Germany. Are they flashing that stuff around? Are they reenacting that stuff? No, not really, man. Because it's just exactly like, now I'm not saying don't wipe it out from history, because we need to learn from history. We need to acknowledge that this thing happened, but at the same time, just like, do you see statues of Hitler in Germany? No, they're not proud of that. I mean, yeah, they accomplished a lot, but at the same time, they accomplished a lot in a negative way. Okay. And so that doesn't need to be glorified. It needs to be, you know, held in history, but it doesn't need to be glorified. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And you can't think of another country where former faction is glorified publicly in whole regions of that country.
No, you can't.
So you can't.
Right.
So
So, congrats, you know what I'm saying? President Joe Biden and Vice
You about to call her
President.
Patricia?
I almost, but uh, but
Hey,
but
okay.
Vice President, you know what I'm saying, Kamala Harris,
that's right.
you know what I'm saying?
Kamala,
But
Kamala.
I I tell people all the time, I was just like, hey man, uh it's up to us to start demanding something from these people, man. Like they fought so hard to get the votes that they got. You know what I'm saying? Now, as a people, we need to help people, help them make decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't just sit back and settle in a shallow victory when there's still much work to do.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
A lot of work.
if I do say so, the way I view, at least because I always like recount people when they think about, or when I think about like, past presidencies and stuff like that. And people are often very quick to be, or to say, oh, well, he was the president, or she was the president or whatever. Well, she, fingers crossed, was the president of the future, but they didn't do much. And, I feel like that comes from the perspective of us. Like, they didn't do much for us, or like in our own mind. But then it's like, because when I was younger, I started to fall into that same trap, drinking the Kool-Aid. But I'm like, there's so much they have to do that we don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know anything about. We will literally never know everything that a president has to do. And I think about other professions too, right? Like, there's some professions where we go in and we expect, or we assume that we know. For example, if I hire a lawyer, I expect my lawyer, I just want to win the case. And then what do I got to do? Give me what I want. You know what I mean? And whether we win the case or not, whether I get what I want or not, will determine for me whether they are good or not. Right? You know what I mean? And then what if we didn't win? What if I didn't win? Then my next lawyer, then I'm gonna, you know what I mean? You better come. I want what I want. And it's, I feel like it's like that. It's a trap. Because personally, I thought about that, because just challenging my own thoughts and my own introspection and my own growth. I have no idea what they do. So I try to look at the small victories at a minimum. I do believe in holding them to their promises. Like, I was talking about that with my nephew recently. He's 17, will become a voter very soon. He didn't know much. And I was like, Neff, as you get older, one of the metrics you can use when determining who you'll vote for or whatever could be like, are they a person of their word, amongst other things, right? Like, the things that they say they're going to do, or the things that they said they'll do in the past, have they done it? So I think for me, that's challenged me to kind of I still agree with you, Darius. Like, this is a yes, and like, I do think we should hold them to it and make demands, because we're the voice of the people. We are the people, right? But also, it's like having that faith that and just trust that things will work out, and the things that will get done that need to be done will happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a real good. That's real good. I think Sean King, I saw him on Twitter, basically saying, we're not waiting until January 20th to hold Joe Biden accountable. Like right now, what are you trying to do now that you have the office? Darius brought that up. We brought up that first 100-day plan. I have it in front of me now, so I can just go over some bullet points here.
Find some stuff that he talking about black people too. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. So one of the things is Biden's plans for the environment. So host a climate world summit and discuss with leaders the major carbon emitting countries to join the United States in making pledges to limit their carbon footprint beyond what they have already promised. Be the leading country in setting international agreements that will reduce emissions. Rejoin the Paris Agreement, because Trump took us out of that in 2017. So rejoin that. Have the Office of Science and Technology Policy create a report identifying climate strategies and showing public support for international legislatures and taking action to decrease the greenhouse gas, hydrofluorocarbons, and known triggers to global warming. So that's the economy. I mean, the environment. this is the economy. He wants to create a cabinet-level working group that will promote union organizing and collective bargaining in the public and private sectors. Another cabinet level of labor representatives will be tasked to develop a solution to increase union density and address economic inequality. All right. So then immigration and the current asylum policies in place. Period. Okay. Bring back case management programs while ending prolonged detentions that currently many families suffer from. Reverse Trump's public charge rule that denies permanent residency to legal immigrants if they use food stamps, Medicaid, housing vouchers, or any other public benefits. And the national emergency that allows federal dollars from the Department of Defense to build the U.S. and Mexico border wall. So that's over. Show support and protect dreamers and their families. Get rid of refugee bans and bring humanitarian resources to the border for those in need. So that's some highlights there.
Nothing to do with police reform or nothing like that.
Not in the first 100 days.
We said at the same time.
Because again, Corona's number one. Corona is number one. Okay, we got to get that straight. But
I understand that part, but it still need to be some police reform. I don't.
Do those unions pertain to police? Probably not, but
none of them. I can guarantee they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it need to be some police reform. I'm not asking for like money and stuff like that. I do ask for I need the public to be safe. You know what I'm saying? And I need for things like that to be under control. Underlay. You know what I'm saying? Vamonos in a hurry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because those things happen, and right now, if people feel the way they feel about their president, their past president losing, it can heighten. You know what I'm saying? The public can be in disarray. Just because somebody feel a certain way about their candidate losing. You know what I'm saying? And I hate for somebody that look like me to have to be in a situation where they can't even make a decision to fight for their life, because either way they're gonna be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law without considering, you know what I'm saying, that they were in danger, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, or police, you know what I'm saying, policing too hard, you know what I'm saying, like, or shoot, I tell people, I say I'm for rewriting the Constitution, you know what I'm saying, because life is very much different than it was back in 16, whatever, 17, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, 1776. Yes, yeah, 17. My bad. 1776. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the America don't look like that no more. You know what I'm saying? And certain things need to change, man. Like, I feel like things have to change with time. You know what I'm saying? Especially like that when a lot of the people that are now in this country was never in the room to be able to give a voice to like the concerns of the people that they're people. You know what I'm saying? We are a melting pot now, and we have very different nationalities, ethnicities, and all that stuff like that in the country. You know what I'm saying? We need to have something that's going to bond us and not just ride off the things of old, because there's no need. We can't even, we have things in place where we don't even police ourselves. Back in the day when they wrote that Constitution, people were policing their selves. You know what I'm saying? Like, their towns really didn't have any real police. They would just walk around. Everybody had guns, and you're like, hey, you steal my property, pow, you shot my horse, you die. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But we don't live like that. We have evolved, and I think that piece of parchment needs to evolve with us. You know what I'm saying? Because things ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Them inalienable rights were for only the people that were represented in that room. Those inalienable rights then transfer to the 3/5 man. You know what I'm saying? that we are now, you know what I'm saying? We say we are free and we have certain things. We don't have like a lot of things, even from the civil rights movement, and transfer in totality. They had to start putting affirmative action into play for even a lot of people that have the jobs that they hold now. And then even then they had a problem with that. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to mold, you know what I'm saying? We have to reshape that clay.
Yeah, man, definitely a lot to do. And that's progress. That is the process of progress. And hopefully now the difference is that and to say that Trump accomplished nothing would be, kind of, just kind of painting with a broad brush, but at least now the office has a little bit more credibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the
Why
office.
you think that?
Well, whether you agree with how this country is run by other people before Trump, then there's certainly ways to break that down. At least now, your president isn't like a punchline, in the manner that Trump was, in just the way that he conducted himself. And because that matters at the end of the day. Because like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that he just sat here for 4 years and tweeted and, didn't do anything. I mean, of course he did stuff. He and people around him got some things done. But at the end of the day, your decorum and your compassion goes a long way. And the strategy to not show that compassion and not, as a show of strength or whatever it was, it just wasn't a winning strategy overall. So at least now that's one less thing you have to worry about in trying to, lead this country.
Yeah.
All right. Mel, you got any thoughts up there? You up there got the ponder face.
I don't know. I just like listening to what Stevie was saying. It just makes me think.
You like listening to what I said?
Yeah.
Got it.
Put her on the spot. Oh my god.
I'm gonna head out.
Oh.
But no, it just had me thinking, just how like character precedes action. I don't know. Like I think even just personally, one of the biggest things that I feel like, just like on a personable level, it's sometimes it's just really hard to think about like positive things, because you're just so surrounded by negativity. And I think for me, I know the things that I resort to in the past was just like all the negative things. I could never think of any one positive thing that, like if somebody said like, tell me about yourself, I'm like, where do I start? Or even like another thing, like, what do you like about yourself? The thing that comes to my mind most is like the things I don't like about myself. And so even using that kind of analogy, I think a lot of the times it's like kind of like what, Stevie said, is like, it's not that he didn't do all bad things, but because his character on the forefront was just, it was so hard to see through that. It was kind of hard to see what good things he's done. Because I feel like a lot of times when I just see Trump in media, I never really heard any good things about what he was doing. And so it's like, not to say that he didn't, but I do feel like even just this election is just a character. It was like character versus character, like I just feel like Trump was just doing the most, and then even when you talk about the debates, right? Like the very first one, I don't even remember. I can't recall one thing that either said of substance until I went back and watched the highlights the next day, because I was laughing the whole time because it's like a freaking comedy show. I felt like, and I think also too, they were avoiding the questions as well. So I did feel like, this was definitely like I definitely feel like this was a race based on their character as opposed to what they actually their action plan. Not to say that the action plan didn't have weight, but that was I feel like that was one of the biggest determinations in who is now the projected president.
And to your point, Darius, I feel like in this 2020, um, the whole thing of like what the president does, or at least a lot of what the president does, being in the shadows,
Mm.
the scrutiny, I don't think we can walk that back. You know what I mean? Like as much Trump was scrutinized a lot, just through the convergence of media and then just what's been happening in the country. Um, he was under a microscope compared to a lot of presidents in the past, just
No,
because
Obama was on a pretty thick microscope. Now,
true.
you know what I'm saying?
Either way,
Like every
either
time
way,
that joker sneeze, look, he's. Oh, I thought he was Muslim or something. And you like,
so we can't walk that back. Like Biden's gonna be, I feel like, under scrutiny as well, and hopefully that's a good thing because then that does what media is supposed to be, a watchdog for us. And a lot of the time that does not get accomplished. It's just all about eyeballs. It's all about, you know what I'm saying? Just getting us to look and pay attention. But really, it's supposed to like, all right, if somebody's doing something shady, like, hey, tell the people so that we can hold them accountable. And hopefully that's more of what happens going forward, you know.
mm, I hope so. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't talk to a couple people about this whole thing, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like, it'll be if we just ride off this victory, you know what I'm saying, and the people don't call the people that's supposed to be leading this country higher, you know what I'm saying? And in themselves calling themselves higher. Cause just like even in my marriage, I tell people, hey, you better be prepared to do the things that, you know what I'm saying, you call your the person you're in a relationship with higher. Like if you calling your spouse higher, you better be going as high as well. And I feel like as a nation, as high as we want to call people, we have showed ourselves to kind of like fall to the wayside. We want everybody like that's why I'd say we need to start really focusing on what we can do instead of just waiting on the government to do things because the government ain't gonna do things that they don't think you are even capable of doing. It's kind of premature. It's like handing a child a gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you give a child a gun? You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what this gun is for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you start giving people things, that they can't handle, it's gonna go to waste, or it's gonna waste them. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really re-examine ourselves and be better. You know.
Yeah, man.
That's why I'm gonna be president, and I'm gonna call everybody out. I'm gonna be looking dead in the camera and be like, "Hey." I'm gonna say people names. I'm gonna have a list of people that, hey, I heard about you on Twitter talking to me. You know what I'm saying? You said I need to give you such paid your child support. You know what I'm saying? And you think you can call me out? Go get him. You know what I'm saying? Lock him up, give him a job, and make sure all his money go to his children. You know what I'm saying? Or if Cookout Karen, she say something about me, I'm like slap her in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a sister named Bertha to go to Karen's house and jump on her at her doorstep. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a squad of people just roll around and regulate things. They're gonna think
like
we
that.
in a police state, but we're not. I'm gonna allow people to live, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna be able to walk around and terrorize people just because you feel like you have something to say and they got to do what you want them to do. That ain't the country we live in. This is the land of the free. So shut your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You go over there and count something or something.
Like Nevada, because they definitely need help counting.
No, they don't. Nevada, I ain't even gonna allow them to register, like to vote. I'm just like, I'm sorry, y'all can't. If y'all, you send all your poll stuff to the state across from you. Don't count nothing. Just you get all your stuff, information, send it to the next state. and they accounted for you because y'all ain't finna do this again. I'm saying, like,
Right. Exactly. Ask
You
the
know what I'm
choir
saying?
for another selection.
Right.
and I need I'm gonna have a reputable source. I'm gonna get Stacey Abrams on the phone with like, Stacey,
Oh, Stacey.
we need to go ahead
Auntie
and
Stacy.
Auntie Stacey, we need to go ahead and remove everybody that's over the age of 50 from counting. You know what I'm saying?
From
'Cause
counting. Okay, got
from
it.
We ain't gonna
counting,
have anybody to count the votes.
No, we gonna get. I'm gonna go employ people. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna like, hey, you sitting at the house ain't doing nothing, and
No,
I'll
you
see
say
what I do.
you gotta
I put
test
in
them.
plan. If you unemployed and you over the age of 25, you finna go count some ballots. You know what I'm saying? You
No,
gonna
you,
earn them food stamps. You know what
you
I'm
test
saying?
them. You
So
say, what's 5 plus 5? And if they can't give you an answer in a second, they can't
I
count.
send them. I have a tutor on site. I'm like, you see, you got your fingers. All you do is count to every 10. Every 10, you put a hash mark. How many ever marks you got? You know what I'm saying? Times it by 10, and you get your number. You know what I'm saying? To make it real
We'll
They
simple.
do
can
the heavy
barely add, so
lifting.
you would have add
Yeah, we'll do the heavy
multiplication
lifting from
too?
there.
We'll do the heavy lifting from now. I need you to do every 10 hash
Just
marks.
give us the tabs. Give us the
You know what I'm
tabs. We'll
saying?
count the tabs and do the
Exactly. We'll
multiplication.
count the tabs. We'll do all that. You just count the 10. You know what I'm saying? Every
Honestly,
10 mark. Every 10 mark. You know what I'm saying?
Just stomp your foot 10
Exactly.
times.
stop your foot. But the same way they got a money counter, why can't they have that for the papers? It's like, bro, what?
Oh,
Because I know you said,
Or like I tell people, we finna do all
Yeah.
technology, man. Like, hey,
that's what
man,
I'm saying.
I don't understand that either because I was just like, we should have technology enough. You know what I'm saying? We got
We
5G
do.
telephones right now.
we do have it,
You know
but
what I'm
you know,
saying?
have it.
But we still casting ballots the old way. I should be able to just take your blood type and know who you're voting for.
I'm done, man.
You're O positive, and you look like you're voting for a Republican. Go ahead, read Republican everything for him.
well, funny you mentioned blood types, Darius. I feel like it's
Yeah.
a smooth transition
Listen,
into the subject of life insurance. That's right. It's time to
Yes.
pay some bills. Let's see where we at.
so lost.
Because people was like, hold up, what life insurance?
It felt like an ad.
Life
And
insurance.
while we're on this note, let me just say, this conversation of Convrs8 is sponsored by. Like I was like, wait, what?
Yes, you have caught
Yeah,
on,
that's what-
Chima. A lot of people overestimate what it would take to be insured. And as a matter of fact, 2 in 3 adults think life insurance is too expensive, but they overestimate its true cost by 200%. But our friends at Alexander Insurance Group are here to help. Contact Mr. Roland Alexander. He is very good at breaking down life insurance policies that are just right to the individual. You know, he'll sit down. He has a lot of resources from a lot of different insurance companies that do different things in order to tailor your life insurance to you. So contact Roland Alexander at Alexander Insurance Group.
Hey, contact that man.
I like
You
that.
don't want to be selling fish plates to try to bury Pookie now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get some life insurance too. Pookie funeral costs about $10,000. You get you a plan that costs about $200,000. You got $190,000 to play with. So Pookie can be very good with a nice headstone, and you make her go buy a house or a Lamborghini, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell you how to use your money. You might want to go out there and go to Magic City or something. I don't know, but contact Alexander Insurance Group.
You said the name right after that. All right. You can contact Alexander Insurance Group at 770-456-5822. And the website is alexanderinsurancegroup.net.
And if
Roland
you
will be
can't
so
spell
pleased.
Alexander Insurance Group, you might need to hurry and get some insurance. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's our
There you go.
sponsor.
That's
So
Roland will be so proud. So now, on to our interview. We have Chima Odinkemere.
Doctor.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I got to throw that doctor on there.
Now
Dr.
you better
Chima
throw that doctor. Put
Odinkemere.
some respect on that man's name.
Time. Technically, a few months. In a few. I'm not able to claim it yet. So, okay, I got you. If you're watching this today, November 8th, 2020, I am student doctor Chima Odinkemere, right? If you are catching this as of May 15th or so, 2021, and or for the rest of my life, catch me as Dr. Odinkemere.
Come on, catch you. Shoot, catch these hands too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Catch that
Operating
thing that listens to your heartbeat. What is that? A stethoscope?
What?
Yeah, that's what that is. Ain't that a stethoscope?
Yeah, the thing
Yeah,
that
the thing
you
that lives
take
in your heart.
heartbeats with. Yes.
Hey man, they should have something that scan people by now. And they can play their heartbeat via Bluetooth on somebody's headset. They ain't biomedically engineered that yet.
Oh,
Go ahead, Chima. I don't know. Like, are you thinking about designing it, or are you trying to wrap your head around the idea?
I mean, because they have stuff like that. Not a scan though. It's okay.
You gonna do it a Bluetooth earphone?
Yeah, they got little Bluetooth ones where you just got a little knob, but I don't think that's
snap.
one.
They got them joints. Oh snap.
Yeah, they do. They got the tech.
Bro, if you got the Bose headset with them joints, boy, I bet you can hear that heartbeat high def. You know what I'm saying? Or if you got an old clunker and it just like be knocking like a 9270 Chevrolet with not a lot of oil in it, you need to stay at the doctor and let him help you. But anyway, welcome to the show.
Right. Welcome to our insanity. So what type of medicine do you specialize in? And what was behind that choice?
Yeah, so I'll be going into anesthesiology. For those who don't know, an anesthesiologist is a physician who did medical school, and they're essentially responsible for the word is perioperative care, which just means before, during, and after care of surgery that you'll be undergoing. So anesthesiologist typically meets the patient in advance, lets them know what's going on, comforts them, then they take them back. And in the OR, when you are asleep, typically we all know that it's the anesthesiologist that puts you to sleep and makes sure you're safe. And that's the most important thing of the entire field because they call anesthesiologists almost like the guardian, of like the patient in the OR. Because while you're asleep and, while the surgeon is diligently doing what they're doing to fix the problem, it is the anesthesiologist's role to keep you alive and make sure you're safe and make sure you wake up and you go home and you're even better than you were before. So that is the field I'm going into. And the reason I chose it is for a plethora of reasons. I really got to just take a step back and think about what I wanted out of my career as a physician, because it's a long road, God willing. I'll be able to make a great impact. And I just thought about my own life, my own experiences, reflected on the things that meant the most to me. And, my life has been fantastic, thankfully. I'm grateful for it. But with everything in life, there comes its hardships. So my hardships were really what kind of guided me to this point. And I realized, on the days that I was most afraid, on the days that I felt hopeless, I wish I had someone or anyone or anything that could like bring me comfort, right? Then I thought about my own career, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Who do I want to be to people? Do I just want to be the doctor that you come and see? What do I want? And I realized that I wanted to possibly bring hope on a dark day. And what could be one of the darkest days in the medical career or just for people is when they have to get surgery. Because surgery is really, it's really scary for most people, especially if you've never had it before. All most people have is just the hearsay of neighbors, friends, family, colleagues, internet, TV shows. We see the good things, see the bad things. More often we see the bad things that happen on those medical shows. Something's going awry. So you're really scared, and I wanted to be that voice of calm, that presence for that grandfather, that grandmother who needs to get a knee replaced, or that veteran who, served how many tours and feel like, this is their last day. I wanted to be that. And anesthesia really gives me that opportunity amongst other things. Also, I have like the skills that I desire, because I want a balance of both cerebral work and also hands-on work. And anesthesia is a very fantastic field for that. So it's combining all the things that I love most about medicine. I can be who I want to be. I can make sure I really take care of people, see them through. And I've already had that experience because I've done some, rotations in the field. And it is an incredible feeling to be able to, walk up to a patient, a person, a human that could be no different than a family member, really, and say, hey, like, I'm Chima, part of the team that'll be taking care of you. Are you doing all right? Is there anything I can get you? Or even just cracking jokes,
Yeah.
Most people are so grim, or like could be so grim or so serious because you want to get the job done. You want to make sure you're crossing your T's, you're dotting your I's, no mistakes. And yeah, the team is doing an incredible job making sure they're taking care of you. But sometimes to the patient, that just seems like everybody's so sterile and, really focused at hand. So you kind of, you need that breath of humanity. So just going in there, smiling, cracking jokes, whatever, it's incredible. So that's why I'm choosing it. That's what I'm doing. And I personally think it's the best field in the world. Shameless plug.
Hey, man. Ain't no shame in that plug. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I love to have somebody to come in there and crack jokes with me because that make me feel comfortable. I was like, all right, at least look at me like a human being, because Dr. Such said they walked in there and said, yeah, we're going to cut your foot off and return you back to, with a high-end prosthetic, because I need a bionic foot if I get my foot chopped off. Why I keep talking my feet?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's literally the thought that I was like, is your thing?
Because I watched Roots and Kunta Kinte got his foot chopped off, and I was just like, dang, that's hard.
Wow. that was an amazing line you drew there. But speaking of covering people, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic, as we all know, and people know you're a physician. How often are you like inundated or just asked in general about the pandemic, and what are the most frequently asked questions you get regarding that?
Yeah, so I would say, surprisingly, the questions have slowed down quite a bit, and I think that's good because there's more information out, right? But it's also a little concerning too, because that makes me worry if people are taking it less seriously. But it's been something else. I've been getting tons of questions of like, I got questions yesterday of like, what do you think? Do you think that's the most common? Do you think it's COVID? Or what do you think this is? Alluding to, is it COVID? Or, what should I do? And it's challenging because sometimes people ask those questions not really listening to what I would have to say, or to what like actual physicians have to say, because once they have something in their head, it's like, well, I believe this, or I believe what I saw on Google, over what you said to me. So that's one of the most common ones. But I also spent a lot of time reassuring people that I understand that we're in the middle of a pandemic, and to those who are taking the right precautions and doing the things that they should be doing to remain safe, keeping themselves and their family safe, there are other things, like there are other illnesses in the world other than COVID. Like medicine has not stopped because COVID is like currently the center of our attention. There are many other illnesses that still go on. So I've also had a lot of conversations talking people off a cliff. Someone's perfectly healthy, they stub their toe, they're breathing fast, all of a sudden they're lightheaded. Do I have COVID? What? No. Like,
take a few sips of water.
Yeah, or like, I woke up this morning and my heart was racing fast, or like, I almost got into a car accident and like I started sweating. And do you think I have and I'm like, what? No. What? What are we like? How do we get there? There are other things that go on. The world is still existing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the more common ones. But again, like I said, it's a healthy balance of educating people who genuinely want to know, talking to people who just want to assume the worst and don't really want to hear anything, and then also me worrying by not hearing people ask questions or people not really talk about it or seeing people not taking it seriously, and just like hoping that, hoping for the best is really all you can do,
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because I know sometimes I get in my head like that because I know I was in the gym and I was just like, man, my heart rate is higher than it normally is. And I was like, hey man, I ain't got that thing, do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, nah. That's what you do. You working out and yeah, your heart rate. Yeah. I'm good. I had to get myself back in line. Like I'm straight. You know, man, I ain't got to go. I ain't got to quarantine for 2 weeks because I often cause one like, man, you need to move out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nowhere else to go.
Right.
Right.
But yeah, I understand that. But on the anesthesiologist side of the game, like, is it things that make you nervous? You know what I'm saying, with that responsibility? Because that's a huge responsibility. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like the alpha and the omega of the whole process. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't saying like God, but I'm just saying beginning and end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like the person that come in and settle the soul, and then after they come out, like, hey, you all right? You waking up? You still feel your feet and whatever, whatnot.
Oh God, these.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's a huge responsibility. How do you manage that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I mean, after seeing it in firsthand while working with some anesthesiologists, it's more so something you just get more comfortable with time, because any person who finishes medical school is well educated, right? And then so you know your content for the most part. But then once you finish your residency, you are well educated, better educated, and you're well trained. So really, you have everything you need to do your job effectively. And that is the whole purpose of residency, right? You go in as a baby doctor and you come out ready to make a difference in the world for everybody. So I think that's it for someone like me, where I am right now, where I haven't even started the journey into anesthesia yet. It's super intimidating, right? Because I'm still an aspirant, by all means, technically.
Right.
But I do, after seeing excellent physicians, how they conduct themselves, how they work, they're like well-oiled machines. And yeah, we're human, right? Everybody's human.
Yeah.
You do the best you can, but I do see, I gain confidence in that, it's just a matter of time till you know what you're doing, you run the show. That's why there's the whole concept of the term attending. An attending physician means like they've gone through the trenches, they've seen a lot. In some cases, some have seen just about everything you could throw at them, So there's this confidence there. So to me, that's just a matter of time, So I think about it logically like that, practically like that, and then also the faith component of just believing that, God wouldn't have put me on this path to be a mediocre,
right,
$10 doctor somewhere. You know what I mean? And that the impact that I'm going to make a very prominent impact, God willing. So it's both, with both of those, I'm okay. But when I don't have faith and I think about the negative aspects of things, like you could spiral. Anybody could spiral. Because I agree with you. It is intimidating. Because like you wake up. They say the best. An anesthesiologist did a good job if you're not remembered by the patient. If nobody remembers you, then you did a good job. Because then you did what you had to do. Put your patient. You know what I mean? They might remember you depending on who they are. But at the end of the day, it's really the surgeon's show. Because they fix the problem. The whole reason you were there was to get your problem fixed. So they fixed the problem, right? So I think I'll be okay. But I'm excited about it. And I'm sure everything will work out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that too. You know what I'm saying? You put me to sleep every time. You know what I'm saying? I hope I don't have to go to sleep, but you know what I'm saying? If I have to go to sleep or get a busted knee or something like that,
Right.
you know, I'd be glad to be put to sleep by you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Well,
like people that speak confidently anyway. But, but yeah.
yeah, man.
What I like to ask, or what we like to ask with anybody in any field, but especially being a physician. So what's one aspect of being an attending physician that nobody talks about, that you feel nobody really knows about, that you would like people to know? Like some weird idiosyncrasy, or like, man, people should know this about my profession.
So, two things. One, my headphones are dying, so I'm gonna take these out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, that's beautiful. So that was number one, and number two. So I am not an attending physician. Yes, that's gonna take time. I need to graduate and become a physician first.
Yeah.
Give me
We're
a few
speaking it
months.
into existence.
Yeah.
I want to clarify because it could be a very touchy topic if I am false flagging, as the youth would say. But I don't know. That's actually a great question. I think just in general though, when I think about medicine, because some things start getting applied to us way too early, right? So I think like just one component of doctors being perfect, or that's, I could talk about that for days. Or actually another one that I would say is more prominent is, especially in light of COVID, is like ill intent of physicians. I think that was a very common thing. I've heard a lot of rhetoric recently, with COVID, that, some people say, oh, if a patient gets diagnosed with COVID and passes from it, a doctor gets a fiscal incentive for it, and to me, you can apply that concept to anything, but that just speaks to assuming ill intent of a physician. And I don't think that's something that should be fostered or nurtured at all, because an attending physician goes through so many years of training, literally so much self-sacrifice. I am in my late 20s. I am 20. I had this conversation last night. So I'm 28 years old, and I'm not going to be done until, literally not for another 4 or 5 years, depending on what I do. But before I actually start working on my own as a doctor, so I would have spent over 30 years just preparing for that moment. So to assume, take that and apply this to doctors who finish and then have been working for 20 plus years, to assume ill intent of them is a little bit, a little bit crass, because it's like, why would we sacrifice so much and dedicate our lives literally to our patient population, only to try to, nickel and dime people, so that's a major one. And another one that I feel very strongly about is, people, another thing that I hear is that people, say, oh, I don't want to say this. Okay, so basically there's a lot of confusion with what doctors can do and cannot do in the realm of insurance. So when it comes to, paying out of pocket, paying a copay and stuff like that, all these things, people assume, if you order a test at a hospital, right? The first thought is, oh, these doctors, here they come. They're just taking all my money. When people forget that, yeah, you're a physician, but if you work for a hospital, so to speak, if you're a hospital employee, you're an employee, and you work for a company essentially, so, a lot of our money goes to the entity, the hospital. You know what I mean?
Right. If
you order a test, that's not a doctor saying, oh, well, I got my money for that. That's my X-ray. You know what I mean? That goes to the hospital, So then people will think, oh, I've heard rhetoric also saying, these doctors order all these tests from me so they can, because they're making all this money. They get direct profits from it. And it's like, that's not directly true. Like, again, you pay the hospital and the hospital then pays its employees. Stuff like that, you know, all surrounded just around distrust and, again, ill intent, and not really understanding the process. I can give you an example with insurance, because I mentioned it earlier, is I was working with a physician, and we saw a patient in the clinic. You know, the patient had this illness. The physician said, you know, we need to give him this drug. He wrote a prescription, follow up in a couple weeks. Followed up in a couple weeks, you know, hey, how you doing? How's it been going taking that medication? And they're like, oh, I didn't get that. And we're like, what do you mean you didn't get the medication? They're like, oh, yeah, well, when I went to the pharmacy, they said my insurance said that I couldn't get that. I actually had to get this instead. So, and I don't know if that means much to y'all at first, but that means literally, you know, other people who aren't that patient's physician have the power to change your treatment. And that's, I don't know.
It's alarming.
That's very concerning. Like, I don't think people realize how.
That's what I was just like, for real?
It's a real thing. It's happened to me. It's, you know, that is a very real thing where, you know, I say, Darius, take this cup of water, and someone's like, I see what they're saying, but we can't give you this cup of water. Instead, we'll get you this tonic water instead. Like, that's the best we could do. And I'm like, you know, I would be out of the loop. That's very troublesome.
Yeah, that is.
So, you know, it's just something that I just want to, you know, say that, you know, we're sworn to an oath. So assume good intent, not just with doctors, but I feel like just with people in general. I feel like that's a proper way to live, right? Assume good intent with people. And also, like, really, like, learn the process, because I feel like people are really good, really diligent, again, at going on Google and Googling to oblivion about a disease, but then they don't know about how the insurance group works, or how the things that they're buying works, that they're paying monthly, you know, payments for works, and that's alarming. So that's one of the things I would say. 2 of them, 3 of them.
Well, all right. So, yeah, that was some eye-opening information right there. So hold up, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, if the doctor tell me one thing, and I can go to the pharmacist, and the pharmacist like, yeah, about that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving you this Tylenol right here, we're gonna give you something that we got, and it's the great value brand. You know what I'm saying? But we think it may do the same thing. We ain't gonna say it do directly what that drug do, but
right. And it's not the pharmacy, it's the insurance.
The insurance. Oh yeah, the insurance. Yeah, insurance. Let me get that right. My bad.
Yeah.
Insurance.
My pharmacy friends will come for my soul if I.
Sorry, pharmacist friend. We don't want you to come after Mr. Chima. Leave him alone. I messed up. I'm saying, if you're gonna come after somebody, come for me. You know what I'm saying? I misspoke. You know what I'm saying? But I got another question for you as well. What would you inform somebody that is thinking about taking the path of being a physician? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would help them, you know what I'm saying, have a more sober mind about going on this path? You know what I'm saying? What would you give them?
Number one, I would say learn as much as you can about it, because even so, for myself, you know, I kind of started on the path technically early because my parents, I'm a child of immigrants. My mom's from Trinidad and Tobago. My father's from Nigeria. So they instilled in me, or they gave me the choice, I think when I was 6, to become a lawyer, doctor, engineer. And I was 6. I don't know if I said it already, but I was 6. So I had to start right down there in that moment.
On the spot, hey.
My mom looked at me like,
look at charms. What do you want to be?
Which one, Chima? And I'm like, okay, all right. So, you know, and that kind of started it. And so I kind of, for years, and I think a part of that is very good, right? Because that kind of birthed the idea, the concept that I can be a doctor, and not just I can be, I'm going to be a doctor because, you know. But anyway, I would say really do your research and really look into it, because I think some people often go into medicine for the wrong reasons, whatever that, choose whatever reason you want that to be. But really just learn, and use the internet, use YouTube just to see a day in the life. Hear what some doctors are saying, what residents are saying about their own career, how they talk about it. As you would with anything, like, you wouldn't just go and buy a house all willy nilly, or at least I hope.
Believe it or not, some people do.
Right, like, or even a car. You like, look how much time people put into buying a car, and that's like a temporary something versus something you'll be doing for the rest of your life. Like, really look into it. But even more so, I would say, like, reach out to doctors, to physicians, and talk to them. Like, get an idea, really, because there's no better person to tell you about something than the person in that something,
Yeah.
And understand that everybody has a different perspective. Because I met people who encouraged me. They're like, you got this, full steam ahead. But then also, I met some people, or at least one person that's coming to mind, who completely meant well, and he was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you sure you don't want to do anything else?" And at the time, my naivete was thinking that, oh, here comes another person trying to distract me, or dissuade me, push me off my path. Nobody will stop me from being a doctor. When really he was just thinking about his, the cons of the career for him. And later on he ended up saying, if he had to choose, he wouldn't do it again because it wasn't worth it to him. So that's how it was conveyed to me. So it's just a matter of, that's also to really, really learn and think about it and talk to people and seek mentorship and guidance, and because it's a long, painful, expensive road. Like from the time you say out loud, I want to be a doctor, it's like, all right, catch up the cash. Like you gotta start paying for everything. You gotta pay for your, like, obviously outside of college, you gotta pay for your prep courses to take the exam, which you pay for the exam just to get a chance to try to get into medical school. And then
right,
I don't know about y'all, but for me at college, like the exam was like $300 something. I was working a full-time job for 2 years in college just to try to pay for all that. It was hard, if you don't have the resources, which unfortunately a lot of people do not have them, especially depending on your background, socioeconomic status, race, yada yada. Like, it's hard. So I really say, just really be diligent with learning as much as you can about it, because it's a long road, a very, very long and sometimes unforgiving road. So, but do it if you want to.
So y'all better ask, what I'm saying? But I think everybody should be more informed about the path they want to take. I think it's smart for people to ask questions, because just like, even like young me, I would have told myself, like, hey man, you might want to ask people about being engineer or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, that might not be your thing. You know what I'm saying? And or they can give you the, like, this is what you're gonna have to do, or this is what you're gonna have to learn, and this the path, because you want to be able to see there it is, a light at the end of the tunnel, and the light that you're going towards may not be an easy path, but you can learn that it can be worth it for you if that's what your heart is really in. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes that's what we kind of like. We make decisions and not be fully informed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're in the age where people, you got the chance to really be informed about things you want to move towards, because we got the internet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of access to people that we never had access to before. You know what I'm saying? So it will be what they used to say, behoove you to, you know what I'm saying, be investigative and go seek, you know what I'm saying, the knowledge in order to make a proper judgment for your career path, because it is something that you're gonna have to do, or you should want to do for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just saying, hey, I winded up in something that I really didn't want to do, and now my heart ain't in it. And being a doctor, you don't want to have that kind of heart, because you can lose, people like that. You know what I'm saying? Going into things half-heartedly and stuff like that. Or being a lawyer, you be like, hey man, I don't really care about defending you today. I don't even know if I want to be here. So you can look at it like, hey man, I don't know what to tell you. You might be going to jail. But that's my that's my thought of what a lawyer would be like if he didn't care about your life. You know what I'm saying? Basically the public defenders. But But I feel like too, just to kind of like give something. I feel like doctor TV shows give those premise that people the falsification of your field. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they lay on heavy some things. You'd be like, I don't think that is how that works. Because if that worked like that, it'd be a lot of litigations going on. You know what I'm saying with that field. So I feel like TV do a lot of wrong with doctors because I watched quite a few shows and I like, I don't think that's how that works. I've never been in the hospital and seen something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So do you think that? Do you think TV kind of lay it on kind of heavy for the physicians of the world? You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So
I did not know what he was about to do.
Because I feel like, because don't get me wrong, like they take concepts that are real, but the whole point of TV is to get you to watch it. Yeah. So like if they can't entertain you, like Mela said, or get you to watch it, what's the point? There's for example, like in the real world of certain fields of being a doctor, you spent a significant amount of time on a computer just typing notes. They're not gonna air that on.
They go show that. It's like,
where's the next thing?
Like literally, I'll do half at least half, sometimes 2/3 of the episode will be somebody at a computer typing. Like, how boring would that be? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, so they have to make the OR look seem like this is how it is every day. I was like, man, I've been in the emergency room a couple times and it was quite quiet in there. It was nobody buzzing through the ER like it's 15 buses flipped over on 6 different sides of town, and now we got 100 patients all coming to the same hospital.
Right?
Like you like, but you said it was like
50 miles away.
In the previous episode, you said it was like 6 hospitals in that area. Why did they all come to this one?
Right.
Because that's where the actors were.
Yeah, that's where the actors were.
Exactly.
Like that, because I'll be sitting there. I was like, that was a real exaggeration of that situation. I was like, good God Almighty, they skipped. So you mean they came from uptown to downtown to a hospital? So they said, nah, don't go to that hospital right there. Go to the one downtown.
Yeah.
Where it's doctors sitting around already got problems and we're gonna bring them more problems.
Right. Never mind, someone's in love with somebody. Like,
and it's a love triangle going on in there as well.
Right.
So,
exactly. What is a show without a love triangle?
Yeah.
Wholesome.
Yes.
Oh snap.
Yes, this has been most informative, most entertaining. Chima.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man. This has been great. And so we have reached a point in the show where we come to our final thoughts. So, final thoughts. First, our guest, Chima.
On just everything in total?
Yeah, everything.
I would say final thoughts. First and foremost, this was fantastic. I loved it. Thank you so much for the free conversation, the wholesome at times conversation. I'm just kidding. The laughs. In regard to how we started things with the election, I just, my final thoughts are just to remain hopeful. And hopefully that's the thought process of most people. If not, I would say just remain hopeful because all things will work out eventually. All things are working for our good. If you know about that, you know about that. Yeah. This is a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Final thoughts, Melody.
Sure. This was a good episode, man. I feel like there's so many different things that we are looking forward to, or just looking to see how it evolves as far as the election goes, and Joe Biden being the president-elect. I do feel like, minus all the politics, like I think it's really great seeing a person of color and a woman at that, and the vice president seat. That definitely gives, I know, a lot of little girls hope that they can be anything that they've really put their mind to. So I'm just super, super grateful for that being a thing that's happening. You know, looking at the history of vice presidents in general, they've just all been white males. So I think that's a great accomplishment. Um, yeah. And it was really cool hearing Chima's perspective and just in the field that he works in. I think a lot of times you like, I don't know who said it, but you don't really know what a person does, until you actually take the time to get to know them. So I think it was pretty cool because I feel like we always had conversations in passing, and I knew what you did, but like to see your heart and passion behind it come out today, I really, really appreciate what you do in your field.
Thank you.
Final thoughts, Stephen Neal.
Yes. I have a very specific thought. If you are turning 18 before
Right.
January 5th, please register to vote so that we can go back to the polls and participate in the runoff elections involving Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff and their opponents, and have a say in that those Senate races. It's 2 Senate seats, so very important. So if you are going to be 18 by then, please register to vote. It'll be your very first election. Trust me, it'll be fun. Well, I can't guarantee that, but
Yeah, I'm about to say,
meet a lot of people.
you oversold that.
It'll be a different experience.
It will be an experience. My first election was the 2000 election, and y'all know what happened there. I waited 3 hours to vote. Anyway, yeah. But yes, you too, young people, can participate in what is going on today. The victory or defeat, whatever your side on things are, in this glorious election.
Mm.
And that's my final thought. So
Final thoughts, there's
All right. So if you is turning 18 before January, register to vote and all that good stuff. It ain't gonna be as fun as Stephen Neal said, but it'll be worth it. You know what I'm saying? Be able to weigh in and do some adulting stuff. You probably ain't even paying bills yet because you probably just gonna go to college and spend some more of your parents' money and all that. But you get to participate in the democratic process. You know what I'm saying? So I will co-sign with that final thought. But also my final thought too as well. Be assertive in this life. You know what I'm saying? Always give your best and always try to think about things outside of you. I know a lot of people, we don't think past our nose. You know what I'm saying? That has caused us to be very polarizing in this climate, and we are choosing sides, and we love for things to be black and white, but oftentimes we deal in gray. You know what I'm saying? Because black and white meet in the middle, and white and black mix, it makes the color gray. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes we don't land on a side in different topics. It has to be certain situations to get us to be on either or side. So we have to learn that, it's some nuances to life, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be also, you know what I'm saying? You have to think the process through and just don't ride off your emotions totally. Start to try to break things down logically and see what all aspects of it. Try to see all 4 corners of the room before you make a decision. Don't just ride on your side and you say, all I see is the things like me. You know what I'm saying? That can cause us to, separate even more. And I know we don't have a perfect place right here. This ain't heaven at all and stuff like that. But at the same time, we need to be cognizant, you know what I'm saying? And the things we approach and the people we run into. And we have to have a strong foundation of self in order to truly pull together. And because just because somebody is not like you don't mean they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that everybody ain't against you just because they ain't with you. You have to learn how to, if it's okay to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't agree with everything my wife says, and just like she don't agree with everything I say, and it's rightfully so, because sometimes I say stuff that it just wasn't her experience. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a man, she's a woman. She don't see life a whole lot different than I have seen it. She don't have just as much hardships as I think I have saw, and she has had it just the same or even more, because you know what I'm saying, the world look at women differently than they look at men. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't think so, I advise you to sit down and talk to your mother, grandmother, anybody like that. They will show you the world in which they have lived in, and which you think has just been easy for them. I think when we don't have experience, we forget to empathize, you know, and sympathize people's situations, because we just think everybody shares the same experience, which is naive of you to think, you know what I'm saying? And we should strive to seek understanding and be smarter than our forefathers, you know what I'm saying? If we don't, we'll keep on repeating history. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about history, a lot of history repeats itself. Not because we can't do better. We just fail to walk away from the ideologies of the past. We think if we swing the hammer harder on the nail, that the nail's gonna go in. Sometimes that nail just might need to be left alone. You might try to do something else. And that's all I got to say. Final thoughts.
Always with the deep thoughts at the end.
Hey man, I can't help it. I be foolish enough, so sometimes I have to come on and just be serious at the time and give somebody something to walk away with.
Balance.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, balance. That's right, balance. You know what I'm saying? I can't be all the way with the tomfoolery all the time.
Oh gosh.
I have to show people that I am intelligent.
Yeah.
And as your future president.
There it is.
Yeah.
I was like, you're talking.
You know what I'm saying? And as your future president, I will be looking for you at the polls on 2024. You know what I'm saying? Vote.
They ain't say 2024, baby. You ain't gonna get no better.
Campaign is not real.
That last part gets me every time, man.
Hey, so look for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be out there. All up in there. I might even be selling fish plates at the place I go to. You know what I'm saying? So fish plates. And if you're Haitian, I got some griot. I got some Haitian partners that know how to cook and everything. I have a multicultural fest at the voting poll, so you won't be hungry while you out there waiting for 3 hours, because we don't have enough voting machines that work in Georgia for some reason. Don't understand that, but I'm gonna try to fix that. Listen,
hopefully that'll be fixed in 2 years when Brad and Brian are gone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Stacey, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your side. Get with me. We're going to change the scope of Georgia. It's just going to be royal blue by the time I get through with it.
That's word to Andre 3000.
You know what I'm saying? Stank on you.
I can't, yeah.
Well, this was Convrs8, everybody.
Yeah, it was.
We appreciate you, Chima, coming through, sliding out, hanging with the fam. Mella, we appreciate you sharing your time with us. We know you're doing big things up there on the northeast side of the United States. Steve, you just around the corner around town. Appreciate you with your colorful backdrops and you putting together our show so beautifully all the time. And it's always fun for me. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all, our conversators, and we're going to try to keep putting out content that y'all can enjoy with your mama and them and your sisters and your children. Your children can even listen to us because we ain't that reckless. You know what I'm saying? So, much
Technically
love.
not. No.
Technically not. Some of your stuff that I say, your kids don't have to turn away from.
Mommy, what's that?
You know what I'm saying? But it's PG-13.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So, yes, tune in tomorrow on our socials for our next guest. It will be revealed.
Exactly. And if y'all ain't heard our previous episodes and you just not checking in on this one, go listen to the other ones before I slap your mom and them.
Yeah, we got 51 other episodes.
That's exactly why the children.
Yeah, we got 51 other. I ain't gonna slap their mama for real. I ain't gonna never see their mama.
See, they ain't gonna do that.
They don't know that. Exactly.
Oh, you're right.
Mr. Darius J said I could slap you.
So yeah, if your mama don't listen to me, slap her.
See, you're gonna have somebody like Pops on Friday after next, rear back, and
I do not approve.
With no abandon.
Exactly. Open hand. You got to see. You make sure you open your hand like that. Flex your wrist so the bottom connects. Because when the slap's supposed to land like this, kaya. You know what I'm saying? Like so, bottom hand first. Yeah, with the latch.
Yes, we are very live right now.
Oh,
yes.
We are. Oh,
yes.
That's how you slap the taste out somebody's mouth. Open, land, bottom palm, pot cow.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We talked about it. We
talked about it, everybody. Convrs8. Yes. We love y'all. Thank y'all. Come view us again. If you don't, I send some people after you. I know a lady named Big Bertha that can fight women for me.